should just...
Someone says, is that the dude with one nut? Yes, that's the dude with one nut. Yeah.
Forgot about that. Stop, why would you do that? Stop, why would you do that?
I told you, if you let people talk for long enough, they will reveal their true colors. You better all like, share, comment and subscribe, because today we are going to be talking about, again, Just Pearly Things. I told you guys about Just Pearly Things about a month or so ago, and when I did, the internet blew up. And when it blew up, what it done is that it split certain factions of people right down the middle. People lost friendships. People became, from what I saw grown black men become children again, and it was something that was quite sad. Now, what Pearl has done is she has disrespected in the worst way the brother MTR. Now, MTR is also a YouTuber. He's a black man, and myself and MTR have actually done a podcast together. We done it while we were actually on Pearl's podcast before the fallout. Okay. And he's a great dude. You know, I have nothing but glaring things to say about MTR. He has gone through a lot in his life, and this is why Just Pearly Things has come into the spotlight again on this channel. Now, brother MTR had testicular cancer, and due to this cancer, what actually happened to him is that he had to have one of his testicles removed. Now, he's gone into this on his own channel, and I'll leave the link down there so you guys can actually see. Now, this is a very serious life-ending disease, but what did Pearl decide to do? She decided to mock him. Why did she mock him? The brother MTR, when this fallout happened, what he done is that he called Pearl and he said, listen, I'm going to have to distance myself from you. Why? Because Pearl done an interview, as you will know or don't know, with known racist, admitted racist and anti-Semite Nick Fuentes. Okay, and so MTR decided to distance himself from Pearl. Her response is to mock the fact that he had cancer. Mock the fact that he had a life-threatening disease, and she thinks that this is normal behavior. Now, I told you guys about the type of person she is, and what seems to be happening is that her ego is growing out of control, and she's living over here in the UK, and sounds like to me she's overstaying her welcome, okay, when she says things like this. And so if you think that you can stoop so low, you and I, or you and MTR can have disagreements on YouTube about anything, but when you got personal and you started mocking this man who is strong to actually have gone through this procedure, okay, and come out the other side and continue to grow his channel, when you thought you could mock that, okay, you went below the belt. You know you went below the belt, and also your producer that you were laughing with about it went below the belt. Now look, Pearl, it doesn't seem like you have a good team around you who is managing you and who is telling you the right or wrong things to say. Okay, mocking somebody like this is a wrong thing to do, and what is going to happen is you are going to lose fans because of it. Because no matter what disagreement you have with somebody, you don't go personal, especially to an illness that could have taken their life. This girl has gotten out of control, and what she will do is that she will stoop to the levels of absolute disrespect, okay, if one of these people aren't, quote unquote, her words, her Africans, because it was one of, quote unquote, her Africans from behind the camera who actually prompted her to laugh at brother MTR. But let's hear it from his own words.
Just Pearly Things does content with Nick Fuentes. I land in London a month later, unaware that this content was done, and did not watch the content before coming into London. I get back from London, the story blows up, and I slowly come to the realization of the gravity of said comments and decide to distance myself away from the Just Pearly Things network and platform. Now, before I drop my video entitled Holding Just Pearly Things Accountable, I called Pearl, had a conversation with her, and told her that I'm going to publicly distance myself away from her platform, as well as her offering to me to not air the footage of the Red Pill Bachelor. And let me also talk about this. The reason why I chose to do that is because people would still associate my brand towards her if future content was released on her platform. I never addressed that video again on my platform, and even live streams that I've had where people have asked me specific questions, I have chosen to not say a damn thing. I left her alone. I left her platform alone, and I continued to create the content that I wanted to create. But over a month later, I am now one nut, laugh, laugh. Bringing up and making light of a man's bout with cancer seems like a disproportional response to me. There's gonna be a lot of people that will disagree with that, but I think that the majority of moral, sane...
You see, what brother MTR is doing is that he's actually taken the high road. He's not used his platform to downgrade and to disrespect somebody who clearly downgraded and disrespected him. He's actually taken the high road, and I actually commend him for that. And there's a way in which to deal with people in this space which doesn't have to get into name calling and disrespect. You can address situations within this place without going low, and it seemed like Pearl went low. However, as Michelle Obama actually says, go high when they go low.
So then I asked myself, well, why is the response so disproportional? And it's either A, they're just doing it for views. They're just doing it for clicks. They're doing it to just drum up some drama shit. Maybe the views are declining over there and this is what they got to do in order to stir shit up. Or B, they are genuinely very upset, mad, and angry that I have chosen to distance myself away from them from a platform or a business perspective. It's like she's more mad that I distanced myself away from the platform than I was mad at the doctor for throwing my right nut away. This shit kind of reminds me of some Modern Woman shit, like you break up with a girl and in response, she keys your goddamn car. So that's the contextual environmental situation that I think all men need to understand before responding to somebody.
It's very true what he said. The way in which Pearl is acting is like a quote-unquote modern woman. The types of women that she likes us to bring onto her platform and actually take the make a mockery of. She is acting like a woman scorned. All the man done, okay, was distance himself. Didn't disrespect you. Okay, he didn't downgrade you. He distanced himself from you and told you exactly what he thought as a man should. And like I said, her response is to actually go below the belt, as he likes to say, no pun intended.
Because when I think of the environment, I just think of, well, it's disproportional response. There must be an emotional factor that is playing into the way that they're choosing to do this. So after the environment and the background gets assessed, the next thing that you have to assess is the people within it. The first person that I'm going to talk about is Pearl's producer, the one that brought up the comment that said one nut. And guys, understand this, is that there is nothing that I've said on my platform in the 1,300 videos that I have on this channel about someone that I would not then say to their face. But men, understand this. It is not masculine behavior whatsoever to say things negatively about someone from the comfort of your monitor. And in fact, meeting her producer in person, he is the exact same type of person that I would expect to punch below the belt. No pun intended. Because certain types of men default to toxic feminine behaviors such as being passive aggressive and throwing ad hominem attacks, doing sign language, shame and insulting. Because in reality, that man cannot compete with you by any degree and measure of masculinity in reality.
It's actually true what he says. We actually live in a world where manhood and men are lacking. And they have been downgraded to essentially, you know, women with beards. And the men that Pearl liked to surround herself with, specifically her producers and the guys that are actually in the studio that she can laugh with, are essentially acting like women. They use sign language, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Okay, and these are the types of men that she's comfortable around. Okay, she's not comfortable around men who have their own mind and actually can think for themselves. Men like MTR, men like myself, hence the reason why men like myself and men like MTR, we clash with her, because Pearl seems to have a problem with men that think for themselves and don't just go along with what she says and aren't yes men. So the people that you will find around Pearl her Africans are those types of men who basically don't have a backbone. And not to try and be crude, but MTR has got more balls than they have. Big up to the brother MTR. I am so glad that you have battled cancer and you are thriving at this moment in time, brother. Okay, anyone that chooses to disrespect you or downgrade you because of what you went through, to me, is one of the lowest forms of humans on the planet. Okay, so keep doing what you're doing. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Hopefully we don't have to talk about this woman again. Okay, but you know, like I said, because of the ego that's growing, she might just say and do some other stuff. So who knows? I'll catch you lot on the flip side.